Good morning, everyone. Well, this is take 2 for my Terrific Tuesday card. I started a few minutes ago and I had to stop the video for a coughing fit and I forgot to hit the record again, so I decided I'll just start over and start fresh. So my name is Sherry Minnie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Colorado. Please excuse my froggy voice this morning. I wasn't able to be with you all last week. As I've said many times, sometimes life gets in the way, and last week was one of those weeks. But today we're doing a quick and simple card. I want to give a shout out to Sue Campfield. She gave me the inspiration for this card. I did change it up quite a bit, but I used the stamp set that she did use. So I made a celebrating you card and I turned it into a birthday card. It could be used thinking of you. It could be a lot of different things. Hello, friend, whatever. What we're using today is a bundle from the new catalog. It's called Coneflower Celebrations. And actually, we're only using the stamp set. We're using just this stamp set, quite a bit of it, including the greetings. And then it does have a matching die set, which I hope to make another video with using this. It's quite unique. It has a big coneflower that folds in the middle, and then a lot of the pieces that cut out, so we will be using that in the future. But the die set that we are using is Textured Notes. I use this a ton. If any of you are looking for a really versatile kind of background and label stamp or die set, I would highly recommend this. We're using this long, narrow rectangle and the biggest one here for our first layer, our second layer, I'm sorry, our stamping layer, maybe that's better. We're also using some embellishments. I thought I had the ones to match the color cardstock we're using, but I guess I didn't, so we're actually going to be taking a blending brush, blending pen, Stampin' Blend, and we're going to be coloring this to match our cardstock. So in our packet, we have our envelope as always. We have a standard 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4 card base, like we pretty much always use on my channel. You'll have a piece of Timid Tiger. This is one of the new in colors, and I do love oranges and peaches and that sort, so I've been enjoying this. This is the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then you'll have a piece of basic white that we're going to use to cut out our layer, our stamping layer. And you will just run it through your die cutting machine with the largest Textured Notes die, and you'll come out with this. And what I like about the Textured Notes dies is they all have different types of edges on them to add some texture and just makes it look really, I just like the way it makes it stand out. And you'll have a piece of basic white scrap and a piece of Timid Tiger scrap. So to get started, we are going to do our stamping first, and we'll start out with the large flower. The ink we're using is Timid Tiger. And we're going to stamp this flower, the head of the flower, in several places. So I'm just going to kind of put it up here in the corner, kind of tilt it a little bit. My Timid Tiger is very juicy. It will lighten considerably once we've had it. It's had a good chance to dry. And then we're going to do a little bit of the flower and stem on the inside. And then on the envelope, we're just going to do, oh, I'm sorry, I've already done this envelope. Okay, anyway, as you can see, I stamped part of the flower here in the corner. Okay, now we'll do our stem, and we'll go to the inside. This lines up pretty easily. You just kind of pick the place you want to put it, and it really does line up quite easily. Okay. And I didn't do a stem on the envelope, so I think we're done with the flower part. We will now do our leaf. And we will And then the other piece, it is their little like splotchy stamp. I don't know what you call that. And I apologize if my lighting is really bad today. It's quite cloudy, overcast, and gloomy here today. And I'm not real sure. We're supposed to get rain, but I'm not sure if it's going to actually happen or not. I'll see if I can turn them up a little bit. On my screen, it seems to be quite dark, but I'm hoping it's not going to be that way when I start loading the video. So we're going to take the little splotchy stamp and we're going to just do a couple of places. Actually, I better get a little piece of paper to put under here. And we'll put a little bit up here in this corner. Just fills in some of the white space and kind of dresses up the front a little bit. Now the next thing we have to stamp is our inside greeting. And this one says, "I love that I've known you for so many birthdays," which is really a nice sentiment for a good friend. Somebody you really care about. Okay, and then we will stamp our "Celebrating You" on our strip of scrap of basic white, and I think that's it. Now, to do the greeting on the front, what you're going to do is, you see this is way too long for the greeting and for what I want for the front of my envelope. So what I did is I took it and I ran it through like this. And as you can see, and I don't know if you probably can't see, but you can see on this, the one that I'm going to put on the card. You run it through and it has these little dots, dashes right here. So once you get it run through on that side, then you put this back on and kind of line it up to where you want, so your distance at the ends will be the same, and just line it up and click it in there until it falls into the spaces on the part that you've already cut. And when you do that, then you can have a shorter piece, and you see how it has the little dots or the little dashes. That's what I lined up, what I pushed in here and lined it up so that, and you can tell it's pretty easy, it won't move, you know that you've got it lined up right. And then I just ran it through again. Okay, now let's see. So I think we're just about ready to put it together. This, like I say, is a cute but very quick and easy card. So we'll take our scrap of Timid Tiger. We will take our stamp and seal. Hope you all had a good week. I've been very busy and struggling with allergies, so not felt my best here the last several days, but hopefully once it cools off, and it's been very warm here. We're supposed to have several days of cooler weather, so I'm looking forward to that. So we're going to put this on here, try to center it. You will have a little wider border. The die cut is not quite the 5 1/4 by 4, so it does have a little bit of an uneven border, but I think it still looks fine. And I've got a little bit of sticky right there. Let's see, do I have an eraser in here? I used to have. There it is. Just caught up in a bunch of other stuff. There we go. Now we're going to take our card front. We're going to take this again. Let's see. Yeah. And we're going to put our layer on the front. It's a pretty skinny border, but that's what I wanted. Now on this one, I did not pop up the sentiment. I think I might on this card. I've been trying to be a little more aware of the thickness and what it's going to cost me to mail my cards, especially since it went up, the postage went up again in July. Before we know it, it's going to cost $1 for every card we want to send, and I send a ton of cards. So it is a little bit of a expense for me. But I enjoy it, and I will do it as long as I am possibly able to do. Okay. And then we're going to put this, and you can place this wherever you want. I kind of put it down to the bottom. I do like a popped up. All right, now as I said, we're going to color. So what you do on your stamping blends, and we have a color, just a set of pens. They come in a light and a dark, and we have colors for almost every single color that Stampin' Up! Has. Like some of the yellows they've combined because there's no need, there's not that much of a difference. There's several that they have combined, but overall, and it has a brush end and it has a bullet point end, but I used the brush end. And all you do is you just take this side, and I actually did 2 or 3 coats. And I did a couple with the brush end. And then I took the bullet point end and I just went over it to see if I could get it to be a little darker. It's not the best. It would be better if my dot was totally white, but I'm going over peach pie. But it did work out okay, and I think it looks okay. I'm not dissatisfied with it at all. And then we're going to take our, sure we are, what did I do with my, here we are. We're going to take our little, take your pick tool, and we're going to take this, and I actually put one on the end of our greeting, and then I put a couple up here to highlight our greeting, and hopefully it'll kind of pull your eye into this whole area right there. And you know what, ladies, we are done. And gentlemen, if there's any gentlemen out there that happen to watch, I don't know. So here's the one I did as a sample, and here's the one I just completed. And as usual, if you're interested in anything, any of the products that I used in this card, you can always go to my online store at sherrymenu.stampinup.net. These measurements and pictures and everything will be posted on my blog, simplylovestampin.com, later on today. And also, if you ever have a question, just reach out to me at suaddicted@gmail.com. Oh, I forgot the G on that label, gmail.com. I thank each and every one of you who take a little bit of your time to watch my videos. I know that your time is valuable, and I do appreciate the views. It does kind of help my channel, and I'm trying to get more and more, but it's a slow process. But anyway, may God bless each and every one of you, and I shall see you next week. Bye-bye.